Hey guys, welcome back to the day of writing that we are going to do. I know that we've had a couple of days of getting into this group. Hey guys, and welcome back to the writing day. So it is now Thursday, which means that we are going to be working on our essay prompt that we started last week when we did our do what analysis. Now today what you guys are going to be doing is writing a thesis statement, and we will get more into how you are going to do that at the end of the video. Until then, we're going to go through a quick slideshow about what a thesis statement is and how we write one. So our first thing that we're going to talk about is what is a thesis statement. A thesis statement expresses the writer's position or interpretation of a particular subject. It makes a claim that others could dispute, like an argument. It is included in the opening paragraph. It answers the question of the writing prompt, and it tells the reader what to expect from the paper. So really quickly, we're going to talk about the qualities of an effective thesis statement. What that means is we are going to talk about the qualities that show up in a thesis statement that is good for us to learn from. So number one is you state your topic and your central point about the topic. The thesis is many students work while attending school, but this is unhealthy. So the topic would be students who work, and the central point is that it is unhealthy for students to work. Two, you state your central point clearly. Rather than indicate that you have a point, you state it. That means that rather than saying something like, although there are pros and cons to the issue, I've decided how I feel about the dress code. I don't want to be sitting here going, well, how do you feel? No, you are going to say that although there are pros and cons to the issue, I am convinced that dress code in schools do more harm than good. All right, moving on quickly. Number three, you avoid broad statements. That a thesis that is too broad will create a paper that has no substance, like a really vain person that has no personality, right? So too broad would be the role of women has changed in the last 60 years. Something that would be better would be the role of women in politics has changed in the last 60 years. This is better because the leadership of women in politics has changed, but I'm not having to tell you how women in politics have changed over the entire 60 years. All right, our next one is express your central point in specific words. I want you as my reader to have a clear understanding of what I am saying. And then also you need to avoid factual statements. If you state a fact here, you've got no thunder for your argument later. All right, our next one, it's not really number 7, it's really number 6, because I noticed after I took screenshots that I misnumbered these. I'm sorry. But number 6, avoid writing a formal announcement. Do not come in and say, this paper will show, as I prove, or the following will explain. You sound boring, you sound like you don't really know what you're doing, and it's just not cool. I'm not going to walk in to an argument with one of my friends and be like, I'm going to tell you right here and right now that this is why Dr. Pepper is better than Coke. All right, so number 7, avoid expressions such as, in my opinion, I believe, it seems to me, and I think. What this does is it makes your argument almost invalid, because if you're like, well, I think, I'd be like, well, I know, right? So I'm popping in and I'm like, I know this, so I don't care about what you think. But if you have in your paper, you have in your paper just an argument so strong I can't argue with it, it doesn't really matter what the opinion is. All right, so then the next one, preview the main ideas of your essay. It gives us an idea of what the essay is going to be about. I know when I read your essay, this is what you're writing about. It helps you achieve your purpose. So then you need to review your thesis. You need to reread your writing. Can you identify the thesis? Ask a friend to read your essay and state your thesis. And then double check that all of your paragraphs come back and support that thesis and they're not going off on a bunny trail willy-nilly. All right, so the elements of a thesis. You've got your 1, your topic, 2, your evidence, 3, your opinion. Now, not all thesis statements, not all papers will be opinion-based, but what you can do is with your opinion or your evidence section is just give information as to why you would do something. So we're going to look at some examples and we're going to break them down. So from question to thesis, my prompt is read the passage carefully. In a well-written essay, explain how the author uses imagery, figurative language in detail to characterize Scrooge. So I know my topic is Scrooge's personality and character. My evidence is imagery, figurative language, and detail. And my opinion is determined by me. So thesis number 1. In A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, the author uses many different types of figurative language to characterize Scrooge. So the topic is Scrooge's character, and the evidence is many different types of figurative language. There's not really an opinion here. Again, there's not always an opinion. Now, my second one is better. It is much less broad. Remember, we talked about how we don't want it to be broad. And this first one that we have is I could talk about any type of figurative language. So it's too wide of a topic. So my second thesis is, in A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, the protagonist Scrooge is portrayed as the classic greedy, cold-hearted character through Dickens' use of figurative language such as similes and metaphors. So I know my topic is Scrooge's character. I know my evidence is figurative language, specifically similes and metaphors, and my opinion is that Scrooge is greedy and cold-hearted. So this kind of sets us up with a formula for our own thesis. Think back about our prompt. Where is one place in the world you would like to visit? Explain why you would want to visit this place and what you would want to do or see once you arrive. Include specific details and examples in your response. So my formula is the topic of my essay. Then I would say what kind of evidence or information I'm going to use. So what am I going to use? And then your opinion. Okay, so now we're going to look at my own example of answering this prompt. So my topic is I want to go to Joshua Tree National Park. The evidence or the information that I am giving in my essay is I want to check off another national park. It's my dream to go to all of them. I want to go hiking and take pictures, and I want to see trees that are going extinct. Now, I do not have an opinion because this one is not asking for an argument. It's asking for me to explain where I would want to go and why. So then if I put all of that information together, it looks like this little bottom part here that says if I could go anywhere, I would go to Joshua Tree National Park because I want to check off another national park, go hiking and take pictures, and I want to see the trees before they're extinct. You know exactly what my topic is about, and you know exactly what I'm going to talk about in my essay. Now it is your turn. I would fill out my sheet just like this, and then you are going to post your thesis statement in the discussion board, as well as put your thesis statement on your PowerPoint. Remember, we're trying to watch this document grow, but what you are going to do with the thesis statement so that everyone can see what everyone is talking about and get ideas for their own thesis statements. We are going to post them in the discussion board for a grade. So go ahead and do that. It's going to be wonderful. I have every confidence, and I'm so excited to see what places you guys come up with to write about. And good luck.